All right, y'all. What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all know she's doing out here? It's a beautiful day, you know. All right, y'all. I got another video. I think y'all all seen Juvenile. I forget what podcast that was, but he was talking. I'm not gonna say spicy or crazy because the facts is the facts. I definitely think he outsold Nas, any one of Nas albums. Nas was more instrumental on the I'm not gonna say spiritual side, but Nas' lyrics was more so, deep diving. There wasn't surface lyrics all the time, especially early Nas. You have to think about what Nas was saying. I mean, he'll hit you with some lyrics that'd be like, damn, hold on, let me rewind this. What did Nas say? So it wasn't the glimmering music that we listen to today. A lot of it is 808 drums. A lot of it is what they would say drill type of music. Nas was more so early hip hop. This is like hardcore rap that you're hearing now. The Futures, the YTV Fats, the Moneybag Yos. You know what I'm saying? So Juvenile made a statement that said, he basically outsold. He has a solo album that outsold, any album Jay-Z put out, any album Nas put out. So again, Nas was more of a deep lyricist. A lot of his rhymes went over people's heads. You know what I'm saying? As far as Jay-Z was still more in tune with the streets. A lot of more street cats felt Jay-Z because of Jay-Z lyrics. Jay-Z would talk about something dope. Jay-Z, one of his famous lines was, I lost 96 bricks. I got them all back. You know what I'm saying? Over the course of years, people have talked about they don't believe he did this. They do believe he did this. It's documented that he was in the streets. So a lot of his rhymes, early on was street rhymes, talking about hustling, talking about having a lot of money, talking about, shopping, spending money, things of that nature. So his lyrics more so resonated with a lot of people around the world, whether you was from the South, whether you was from the East Coast, whether you was from the Midwest like myself. You feel me? He commercialized himself a whole lot more, So with that being said, Juvenile came through, and I didn't realize Juvenile sold 6 million records. But if you look at Juvenile's album, 400 Degrees, and you compare it to Jay-Z's biggest album, Hard Knock Life 2, they both sold 6 million records. At the time when Juvenile released 400 Degrees, it was highly anticipated. Everybody was going around saying, oh, that's you that got stole for your shoes, huh? Oh, that's you that can't, I mean, that song was just chart topping. Everybody knew, he had a lot of good songs. Both of them was released in 98. I think Jay-Z released his in September, and Juvenile released this album November the 3rd, y'all. But both of them was chart topping. Like I said, both of them had 3 to 4 radio singles. Huge album. Jay-Z was even on Juvenile's album. He was on the High remix, But when you look at the RIA certificates, it says Jay-Z's Volume 2 album was 5 times platinum. The RIAA for Juvenile's 400 Degrees is 4 times platinum. I don't really know the differences in this, but it says that Jay-Z sold 1 million more platinum records than Juvenile. So with them both being at 6 million sold to this date, it's up for debate on what you exactly think was the better album. That Hard Knock Life single was huge, just like Juvenile's High record was huge. I can't say which had the longer lasting debut as far as radio play. I didn't actually look at those numbers, but everybody was bumping Hard Knock Life. Everybody was bumping It's a Hard Knock Life. I mean, I think that was more so a hood anthem that we felt and we related to. Hearing Jay-Z coming from where he just came from, it's like Jay-Z made a huge jump. This is like, right after Pac and Big died, you know what I'm saying? Then he comes out with this Hard Knock Life, and that song captivated a lot of people and where they was at the time. When Juvenile released High, it was more so a huge, almost underground feeling type of record that, everybody on the streets was just, crazy about. I mean, because, he's a Southern artist and he's rhyming and he's making sense with what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Some of the situations you'll be put in when you heard Juvenile, how record made you relatable. A lot of young guys related to that. A lot of cats on the streets related to that because they've been in some of them situations where Juvenile was speaking about. You know, he had a lot of gangster lyrics, and it was a lot of heavily street anthems in 400 Degrees. If you was in the inner city, if you was from the hood, you really related to Juvenile 400 Degrees. You know, opposed to Jay-Z, you know, it was more so a feeling where you just felt comfortable throwing it on because it was Jay-Z. He's always had that effect on you to the point where when you turn on his records, you can vibe to it. No matter what you're doing, no matter where you at, it's just a feeling that you get where you can be like, all right, I can bump this. At one point in time, we all like Jay-Z's records. So, you know, comparing the two, it's really iffy. But it's like when Jay-Z came through, it's like radio needed that. When Juvenile dropped, it's like the radio needed that because we haven't heard those sounds. We haven't heard those sound waves. So when they came, they were new. They both brought something different to the table. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z being an East Coast artist, Juvenile being a down South artist. But nevertheless, with Juvenile's statement, you know, I can't say he's lying when it comes to Nas. As far as Jay-Z, like I said, the IRAA said Jay-Z was 1 million above him with 5 million, and you know, Juvie was sitting at 4 million as far as the RIAA plaques go. But nevertheless, both of them was huge records. I enjoy both of them. I still bump both of them to this day. It's just the way he said it, you know what I'm saying? And you also have to realize, you know, when people talk about Jay-Z, they always say they outsold him. You know, a lot of artists outsold him during the duration of his career, but they didn't have the same duration that he had as far as being a rapper, an artist, and a mogul. You know, you look at somebody like Nelly. You know, Nelly came through, sold a lot of records. Eminem came through. To this day, Eminem just dropped the album and still sold a lot of records. He hasn't had that consistency as a Jay-Z, but Eminem has sold, you know, 140 some million records worldwide. I think Jay-Z's only like at 30 some, 40, if not mistaken, 30 or 40 something. So it's like, you know, when you look at artists like Ja Rule, even a 50 Cent, hell, you look at some of the guys under 50 Cent, you know, the Lloyd Banks, even The Game, Young Buck, they all outsold Jay-Z, but they don't have that duration of consistency throughout their career. You know, you look at Jay-Z, he sold at least 1 million copies every album. And outside of that, even in 98, Juvenile dropped, Jay-Z dropped, but Jay-Z also went on one of the world's biggest tours. DMX headlined the tour with him. You know, that was one of the highest selling tours to the date at that time. You know, so it's like, you know, Jay-Z did a lot that year, more than any other artist. You know, not to mention Jay-Z owned his record label. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Juvenile was just an artist on the record label. So, you know, the longevity in which he's comparing it, you know, it makes sense. And he definitely has an argument, but just the overall effect that it had on hip-hop itself, Jay-Z's effect was way huger than Juvenile's, in my opinion. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all give me some like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? You know, share the video. You know, like it like y'all be liking them Pornhub videos. Like it like y'all be liking all them hot female rapper videos and shit. And share it. You know what I'm saying? Keep me in the algorithm, y'all. All right, nosies.